talk about Davis, his blocks, and did you know with full 44 that he was too shy of a triple-double?
I didn't, but he was, he played. Without him, we'd probably lose the game. He changed everything about the game. And you know, he blocked shots, he scored baskets, he rebounded tough rebounds, he came up with balls. You know, when it got rough, we had guys that couldn't come up with balls, just could not. It's Achilles heel for us, and guys think it's okay, it's just not. But he played, he balled.
Cal, you said yesterday we need work on offense, playing pretty well on defense, kind of how it played out again tonight. How do you reconcile playing so dominant on defense? I think 5 shot clock violations early in the first half, all the block shots, and not
well,
on the other end.
You're playing such a young team that we haven't figured out each other yet. It's going to take time. This team will be way better in March than it is right now. I mean, we started the game, we had 5 turnovers to start the game. First 3-4 minutes, 5 turnovers. Of the kind of, you know, going after a ball, half speed, running somebody over, walking, not sprinting the court. You know, and then give St. John's credit. They scrapped. They were physical. They played a style that they felt they had to play, which was let's run the shot clock down. That's why there were shot clock violations, not that we were so good defensively. They went to run the clock to 10 seconds and try to make a play. Then they couldn't get the shot off at that point, which is hard. But they did what they had to stay in the game. And we were just inept offensively. I mean, we started the game. I mean, we had 16 points. I'm like, are we going to get to 20 this half? And so, again, you know, we got a ways to go. I don't know what else to tell you.
You know, with Anthony, he blocks so many of those, controls them, and keeps them in bounds, and creates possessions of it. Is that something you teach, or is that just something he's done?
I'd like to take all the credit for that and how I teach. But the reality of it is, that's him. He just, you know, he's a great shot blocker. You know, we blocked a lot of shots today. You know, we had some steals. You know, it's a hard game to play when the other team's winding that clock down. And there's going to be a lot of teams play us this way. It's how they'll play us.
Yeah, this is a lot of numbers. Do you think Davis sort of inspires him, especially on the defensive end?
Terrence is going to have to play better these next 2 games. He's going to have to. It's not even about numbers. You got to come up with balls. You got to be the guy on the court, being where you're supposed to. You got to show leadership by coming up with balls and taking charges. These next 2 games are vital because you cannot count on young players, freshmen, to go in there in these kind of games, the next 2 that we have. The next 2 are going to be ridiculously hard for us to win. And so if we don't have that from him, it's going to be really hard for us because, again, if it's not him, you're counting on freshmen.
Cal, at the beginning of the game, with them milking the clock and playing with someone also on offensive end, do you feel your team showed a lot of patience?
We did okay, but you know, we started the first couple possessions. Guys put the ball above their head. They didn't get into the gaps. They didn't. I mean, it's things that we'd worked on for 4 days. You know, they didn't do. And I just started the game, and so we ended up with 5 turnovers. And I'm like, you know, what are we doing? But again, I'm not the most patient guy anyway, and I want us to be better now, but it's December 1st. We are what we are. We're a good defensive team. We can't sustain the energy we need because it's so early in the season. We stopped playing a lot, and offensively, we just aren't in sync yet. We got to get there.
A lot of times you hear of these AAU player stars, they don't care about defense. You have guys that appear to at a young age. Are they just special that way, or is there something else that's going on?
Well, if you're not going to guard here, you don't play. You're not going to get in games. And if you really keep you break down, then you play somebody else. Our practices, preseason is all offense. When we get into the season, we're zeroed in on what we're doing defensively. So, you know, defense has been I mean, if you look over the last 5 or 6 years, my teams defensively have been efficient. They've done what they were supposed to do. So this team is no different. I mean, field goal percentage, rebound margin, which isn't what it should be because they jerk balls out of our hands today. And then blocking shots and steals and giving yourselves more opportunities. But again, look, I'm looking at other teams around the country that are top-ranked teams. They're just way ahead of us offensively, just way ahead. And so you're not going to go hold those kind of teams to 32%, 29. You're not. But you certainly can't shoot 39, score 39% of the time and turn it over as much as we've been.
Coach, as far as St. John's, coach over here, they obviously a little undermanned with only 7 or 8 scholarship players. Can you talk about, as a coach, how difficult it is to coach a team with that few players, and how much will it help them if they're able to get another player or 2 here in December for the rest of their season?
Well, if I'm one of those 7, I'm really happy, because those 7 are playing every minute, and if the option is I play less minutes and we have more guys, I imagine everybody in that room says we're good with who we have. But what happens is when they add guys that can give them some shooting, maybe some driving ability, I think you're going to see a different team. And they, like I said, they played us as well as anybody has played us. They really did. I mean, I got to give them credit.
Cal, obviously Anthony blocks a lot of shots, yet he does not foul much. What is that about? And did you think he had a block late in the game that didn't seem like much of a foul? But anyway, wondering if you saw that.
I didn't see that, but when he leaves his feet, he fouls. The great shot blockers wait till you release it, and then they go after the ball. So a ball fake doesn't bother them because they're not leaving anyway. So you can ball fake 6 times until you start to release the ball. When it's out of your hand, a shot blocker will go after it. That's what he does. And the other thing a shot blocker does is he's blocking not his man's shot. He's blocking somebody else's shot. And that's why I'm telling my players, don't foul. We did exactly what we did against Kansas. They had 10 straight points from the free throw line. Come on. Quit fouling. We're blocking every shot. Why would you grab or foul or hold? Why? And we did the same thing when we played Kansas. As the game wound down, we just gave them all those free throws. So we got to get better at that.
2 more questions.
Coach, 18 block shots. 18 block shots school record, just a little bit about what that does defensively. I know offensively it's not where you want to be, but defensively it's got to be.
No, we're a pretty good defensive team. We've been this way all year. We haven't had 18 blocks, but we've had 10, 11. I mean, you know, and the other side of it is most teams haven't done what this team did. Most teams try to beat us shooting threes. So they'll play a zone. They may hold it a little bit, but they're trying to shoot threes to beat us. This team went inside, which is why we had 18 blocks.
Coach, in the back here, how much have you looked at North Carolina, and what will you do tomorrow?
Well, first of all, I got to watch this tape tonight. Then I've got to watch our game with North Carolina a year ago. And then I've got to watch 2 or 3 other tapes in North Carolina. I watched them against Vegas about 8 minutes, 10 minutes. And I watched them against Wisconsin maybe 12 minutes, 15 minutes, max. So I got a lot of work to do. Have no idea how we're going to play them yet. You know, they pretty much play how they play. We pretty much play like we play. I doubt if either one of us are going to try to hold the ball. I mean, it should be an up and down game, I imagine. You let them get in too much of an up and down game, you'll get killed. So you got to make it so they're not getting just pass ahead layups. But let me just tell you, what I saw in the little bit I saw last night, they are really good. And I know Vegas made 13 threes, which is why they won the game. And they really fought like heck and did a pretty good job. But they came back against a Wisconsin team that's even more physical and tougher than the Vegas team, and really did a pretty good job on them. So I think they bounced back and recovered from that. They're a good team. They're really good.
Coach, I know you haven't seen a lot of tape on them, but how would tonight's performance work out on Saturday for you guys?
If we play like tonight, yeah, I'd be a very sad coach after the game, I would say. We got to play better than we play.
Thank you.